Now it's no secret that over at UDAT we like European guns. We stray from anything else. You know, we like Russian made, we like Finnish made, Ukrainian made. We also like German made. And over the last few months my armoury's been growing quite substantially with the German guns. Started off with the UMP, of course, which you can find the video to here if you've not already seen it. It's one of the earlier ones we did. You'll also find Tom's fantastic G3A3 review that he did. This isn't Tom's, this is one I had to buy after seeing how well that performed. Converted it into a set me with a wood kit. That can be found here if you haven't seen it. And then we like Word Voice 2 guns as well. So we have the brand new, and we like G&G as well, G980, also known as the Kar98K. Of course, G&G don't own any rights, so they have to brand them themselves. Now, I'm not going to go into how well G&G guns are made. You all know. You know that they come with a 6.035 tight bore barrel as standard. You know, whenever they put wood and metal on anything, it's solid furniture. This, for instance, everything that's metal is either steel or aluminium, and it's just a fantastic solid piece of kit that G&G are putting out at the minute, retailing around about the £400 mark from plenty of retailers, but is readily available as well. It's not one of those that they've put out and they've not made many units, so it's hard to come by. Starting from the back then, like we always do, solid stock. There's no rattle between any fixed parts of this gun. Even the bolt, when it's sat in its locked position, is very nice. Speaking of the bolt, easily removable with a tab on the side of the receiver. A bit more difficult with one hand. Very snazzy, nice solid piece of steel. One point to note though, and we'll get this out of the way right at the beginning of the video, is some known wear and tear. Don't know if you can just see it right here on this part here. This is because it's the only part of the gun that G&G have decided to make out of pot metal. Bad G&G. Other than that, everything else, like I say, is steel. They've noticed this. They've noticed feedback from a lot of players and buyers that have said my gun's shot around about 60-70 shots, and we're already seeing wear inside the bolt. So they've already made readily available a steel replacement. Get in touch with any of the guys over at G&G's customer support, either in Hong Kong or California, and that part is readily available to be shipped out to you. Forward of that, we have a renowned G&G hop-up unit. A lot of people, including myself, say TM hop-ups are some of the best. G&G come a very close second. How you operate the hop-up though in this is quite clever. You don't have to disassemble anything. There are no Allen keys. You don't have to take the mag out to do anything. All there is a little tab, don't know if you can see in the light, in the body that is a body pin in the real thing. Push it through on the left side and it reveals a small wheel. Forward for hop, backwards for non. This clicks so you know every time you're going up a stage, but it also holds the hop in between clicks so you can make minor adjustments as well. Now, the range I've got at the moment isn't big enough to test the full, full range and accuracy of the rifle, but I can say with hop off, the power that, the high power magazine that this is putting out, which we'll go into in a moment, is putting phenomenal range without any hop. So as soon as that's on there, I can't wait to see the performance out in the field. Speaking of the magazine, they come in two different flavours, high power and low power. The low power magazine, both being CO2, sorry, low power magazine puts anywhere between 350 and 360 FPS from an 8 gram CO2 bulb. The high power magazine, anything between 500 and 510, and it's been known to reach around 600 on a new bulb. But to rectify that, don't load the mag with any rounds, bang it in the gun, fire about 3 or 4 shots off, that'll bring it straight down. It's purely because it's a new bulb. From each bulb in the 350 FPS mag, you'll probably get about 70 to 80 shots. Now each bulb, well, they come in packs of 10 from where I've managed to find them, between £3 and £4, so it's very cost effective compared to green gas. As I say, you're going to get 70 or 80 rounds out of one CO2 bulb. The magazines are very clever, and I like clever gas magazines, and we'll go into that. That is your clip, as it were. 9 rounds into the magazine. On the bottom of the mag is a little Allen tool. This is used to reveal your CO2 capsule. Now, I recommend not using this. Just get yourself an Allen key. You know, it's not an uncommon size. I'm not entirely sure which size it is, but you're bound to have one lying around. CO2 capsule sits in the magazine, and what regulates the gas and the power put out by these is the valve on the mag. At first it's difficult to tell which one's which, but after you've marked them up, you know exactly which one's your safer mag that you can use for low FPS rated sites, and which one's going to add a little bit more ouch. So that goes through the mag. That's inserted best when the bolt is pulled back. Simply straight up into the rifle, forward and down. You'll also notice rather quiet as well. Now, just quickly while we're on the subject of the magazine, there's been some posts put on forums from guys who've owned the gun saying that sometimes a CO2 capsule can be a little bit hard to extract from the magazine. They've gone through things, and the only solution a lot of them have been able to find is to drill into the CO2 capsule, screw it and remove it that way. First off, I don't recommend it, because you never know, that CO2 capsule could still contain, you know, some gas. It's dangerous to drill into anything that contains compressed gas, so don't do that, guys. If you look at the exploded diagram in the manual, you'll see the magazine actually, the base plate is easily removable with a 0.5mm Allen key. You remove that, you reveal a small hole in the bottom of the mag from which you can push the CO2 capsule backwards and remove it should it stick. I do recommend doing it like this. I haven't had a capsule stick yet, but you know, if it happens, I'll be removing it that way. No drills, guys. Also, just a point to note as well, should you stop firing because you've run out of gas in your capsule, I recommend emptying the magazine of the BBs manually, putting the magazine back into the gun and firing off another 10 to 15 shots, just to make sure every little bit of gas has been removed from the capsule before you try and extract it and put another one in. Just a peace of mind there, guys. Okay, so we've covered the magazine and the body, the hop-up. Next we have front iron sights, completely adjustable. Next to those is the scope mount, proprietary scope. Tanaka made a version that's like rocking horse poop to get hold of. If you can get hold of them, I do suggest it. They're about 1.5 times magnification, and they really, pardon me, finish the look of the gun off. Further forward, we have a steel sling loop that holds the included leather sling. This thing's quality. You will be using this. It's not a cheap sling that G&G have just put together. It's a nice, lovely piece of kit. Forward of that, of course, we have the front iron sight, adjustable underneath for windage, both left and right, and the cap is removable should you want to put your optic on and you find that gets in the way. As I say, not had actual field use of this yet, so it is just a sort of preliminary video to have a look over it. You'll find nice trademarks all over the gun, serial numbers. Not entirely sure at this point whether these are individual serial numbers. I've not seen another unit, so I can't compare. But all in all, a very, very nice, solid rifle. What I remember as well, because I missed it out on the bolt before, safety is back here. This tab here starts on the left side, flips over to the right to be safe. This can't be done while the bolt's not cocked. Sorry. So if you do try to put the safety on, make sure you have cocked the bolt. Otherwise, may result in damage, and that's your fault. Other than that, brilliant, lovely, and one of my favourites. Like I say, it's around about the £400 mark, so it's certainly not an entry-level sniper rifle, but it's certainly not something that you're going to have to put a lot of money into to get it into sniper performance. This is a reenactor's gun, this is a player's gun. I hope to God if you buy one, you skirmish with it. Certainly don't use this as a wall hanger. It simply operates too well. After that though, I think that's covered near enough everything. Any more questions, of course, feel free to subscribe, add comments, and ask me anything you will. We've already had a few questions on the other videos, and we do try and get back to everybody as quickly and as as helpfully as possible. Helpfully, might look that one up. Either way, I've been Clark. This has been U.TV, and that's the final look at the G&G G980, better known as the Mauser Kar98. Cheers, guys. Forward. This results in a very short bolt travel and means that you can either get shots off faster should you wish. Bearing in mind it's only a 9-round magazine, and I've just dropped the back. Hey!